Titans of Tech, inside the epic battle between Apple and Samsung. In the high-stakes arena of tech, the world's stage has hosted many epic rivalries, but perhaps none as ruthless or relentless as the showdown between Apple and Samsung. This is the story of four men, two American, two Korean, who would unwittingly write a tale of innovation, ambition, and revenge, resulting in a battle that transformed how billions around the world connect, communicate, and live. The tale begins with a restless dreamer named Steve Jobs. Adopted by a humble machinist and his wife in the quiet suburb of Mountain View, California, Jobs was the kid who asked too many questions, often at the wrong time, and never accepted no for an answer. His dad, Paul Jobs, spent countless hours with Steve tinkering in the garage, and in time, those hours would become the birthplace of one of the world's most legendary companies. In 1976, Jobs and his friend Steve Wozniak co-founded Apple out of that garage, launching the Apple I and, later, the Macintosh. But Jobs was nothing if not controversial. He was the fiery heart of Apple, known for both his creativity and his unyielding, often abrasive, personality. This intensity led to Apple's board ousting him in 1985. Jobs left and started another company, Next, while also transforming a small animation studio called Pixar into a blockbuster factory. Fate brought him back to Apple in 1997 when it was on the brink of collapse. With laser focus, he reinvented Apple with products that made people gasp and pull out their wallets in equal measure. The iPod, the iPhone, the MacBook. These were more than products. They were emblems of human ambition wrapped in sleek aluminum and glass. Jobs' legacy became that of an iconoclast who lived by his own rules, driven by a vision he was willing to defend at any cost. Enter Tim Cook, a reserved and meticulous man with a southern drawl and a mind like a Swiss watch. Cook was the antithesis of Jobs, a logistical genius who preferred spreadsheets to stage lights. Where Jobs was fiery, Cook was cool, calculating. He joined Apple in 1998, just as Jobs was clawing the company back to life, and brought a near-superhuman efficiency to Apple's operations. Under Cook, Apple's supply chain became so efficient that products flew out to customers with the precision of an atomic clock. Yet behind the scenes, he quietly assumed more responsibility as Jobs' health declined. Cook may not have been the one to dream up the iPhone, but when Jobs handed him the reins, he took Apple from a design-focused innovator to a financial titan. Cook's unique gift was this: he didn't try to be Steve Jobs. He didn't need to. The truth was Apple needed Cook's disciplined, careful hand as much as it had needed Jobs' creative mind. Meanwhile, halfway across the world in South Korea, Lee Kun-hee, the scion of Samsung Group, was being groomed for greatness, but not in the way he had hoped. Born in 1942, Lee was the son of Samsung's founder, Lee Byung-chul, who had turned a modest rice trading company into a vast conglomerate. When Lee Kun-hee took over in 1987, Samsung was a jack-of-all-trades in electronics, but not exactly known for quality. In 1993, in an infamous Frankfurt Declaration, Lee gathered Samsung executives and told them to change everything except your wives and children. It was a statement that would alter Samsung's destiny. He pushed for relentless improvement, turning Samsung into a fierce competitor in everything from TVs to chips. Yet, as Apple released its first iPhone in 2007, Lee could feel that Samsung was missing something big: smartphones. To stay in the game, they'd need someone with a vision as bold as his own. Enter J.K. Shin, a relentless engineer who had risen through the ranks of Samsung. Born in South Korea in 1956, Shin's youth coincided with South Korea's rapid industrialization. After earning a degree in electrical engineering, he became Samsung's secret weapon, a man with an eye for product innovation and an unbreakable work ethic. By 2007, he was leading Samsung's mobile division, a team racing against time to challenge Apple's iPhone. It was Shin who insisted Samsung focus on larger screens, an approach mocked by Apple, but soon embraced by millions of consumers. This phablet style, a strange phone-tablet hybrid, seemed risky but became wildly popular, especially with Samsung's Galaxy Note series. As Samsung's mobile sales skyrocketed, they entered the market as a true competitor to Apple. The rivalry between Apple and Samsung went from friendly competition to full-on warfare when, in 2011, Apple sued Samsung for copying the iPhone's design. What began as accusations over rounded icons and screen layouts escalated into one of the most dramatic intellectual property wars in history. Apple accused Samsung of outright theft, while Samsung claimed it was merely inspired. After all, hadn't all great art and technology been inspired by something? For Cook, now Apple's CEO, the stakes were personal. This was his first major test as Jobs' successor. He believed that the iPhone's design wasn't just a choice, but a philosophy, an Apple way that he would defend in court. Samsung, meanwhile, refused to back down, with Shin leading their defense. He saw the lawsuit as an insult to Samsung's engineers and as a challenge to the innovative spirit he had fought so hard to nurture. Both companies sank millions into the legal battles. Patents were picked apart, dissected, analyzed, and defended in a trial that spanned continents. When Apple won a billion-dollar judgment against Samsung, it seemed the matter was settled, until it wasn't. Samsung countered, pointing to Apple's dependency on their technology. After all, Samsung provided many of the screens and chips that powered Apple's beloved devices. The court battles stretched for years, each company scrambling to gain ground and to claim victory in the court of public opinion as much as the courtroom. The rivalry spurred innovation, but took a toll on both companies, with each product launch shrouded in whispers of espionage, innovation, and a not-so-subtle arms race of who could one-up the other first. In the end, neither Apple nor Samsung could claim total victory. Apple continues to be known for its aesthetic genius and dedication to simplicity, while Samsung has become synonymous with technical prowess and cutting-edge display technology. Their rivalry, fueled by Jobs' visionary ideals, Cook's relentless discipline, Lee's fearless reinvention, and Shin's unstoppable drive, has only strengthened each company. If there's a lesson to be learned, it's that competition, especially the kind that borders on obsession, can push us all to be better, faster, smarter. Apple and Samsung, through a war that spanned years and billions of dollars, showed that no great empire is built alone. Both empires learned from each other, and in their fierce quest to outdo the other, they redefined an industry, a generation, and ultimately, the future of technology. For Jobs, Cook, Lee, and Shin, this wasn't just about phones or screens. It was about legacy. In their battle, they forged a new world and a lasting tale of ambition, creativity, and sheer determination that will shape the way we communicate for generations to come. Subscribe with justice, without judgment, for more sensational, high-stake battles in the corporate world.